Hey everybody, Moosper from World Demanders here, and I put out a couple of videos recently about my Ellie doing some burst, and I thought it would be a good idea to explain what was happening for people who didn't really, who want to see the build and also want to understand how it works. So I've been, you know how you have the regular quick burst where you have this thing going on, and then you teleport in the middle of an earthquake, and then do all this damage and stuff like that. Well, that's good, and I like it, and it does a lot of damage, but I wanted to see if there's a way, because when you jump up in the air with that earthquake, people know something's coming, especially if you jump up in the air away from them. So they'll dodge, and you might get off the burst if you're lucky, but you probably won't get off the burst. But I was thinking Phoenix. Phoenix also has, you know, that big air effect around you, so that's why a lot of people are able to dodge that. It has a huge burst on the Phoenix, but because of the big air effect and how slow it moves, it is very easy to dodge. But what would happen if you were so close to the guy with the Phoenix that there's no way they could know that it was coming, and there's no way they could dodge? And so the only thing you could think of to do that is if you're right next to the guy and then you just Phoenix like that. So maybe that was what, a quarter of a second that you have enough time to get out of there. But is that enough? No, because when you're right next to the guy, you're first of all probably going to be taking some damage. He's probably going to CC you. You're not going to be able to do things. He'll blind you, etc. But if you're far away, unless they're a ranged character, there's not much they could do. And also, if you're far away, they could just think you're going to be doing ranged attacks. There's no way they could really take that much damage from them. So what I came up with was just a quick little alteration to using Phoenix, and the quick little alteration to using Phoenix or Earthquake and Teleport, and that's the Phoenix Teleport. So you position the Phoenix like you normally would, right behind the target, so it does 3 hits. And you teleport right in front of the target a split second after casting the Phoenix. It's really hard to do. You have to do it really fast, or else the Phoenix will just be cast before you teleport and come slowly after you, and they'll have enough time to dodge. But if you do it fast enough, I'm just going to use Arcane Power. Actually, I'm not sure that was fast enough. I'll have to relook at that. But anyway, if you do it fast enough, it'll all happen at once. Now, basically, I started doing this with just a normal fresh air build. And by normal fresh air build, I meant my normal fresh air build, which is do extra damage when in fire, do extra damage when you're within a 600 range of your target, do extra damage when you're 90% or higher health, using Scholar Runes, so another 10% extra damage when you're above 90% health. Berserker Runes, usually I actually use Valkyrie Runes for more survivability, but Berserker Runes I've been starting to use lately because although you do get 5 critical hits with this Arcane Power, it is nice to get more critical hits than you normally would with just Valkyries. And Sigil of Air, and I was using Sigil of Fire, but Sigil of Hydromancy is apparently very good when you switch to water, or no, when you switch to anything, swap weapons, it does like 2,500 damage, a nice little chunk of damage, while the Sigil of Fire I think maybe does 1,800 on a crit, so this is very good. And so that's basically the build. When you switch, you also get Fury, so that helps with doing critical hits with the other things. Fresh Air is not that useful. It's only useful for when the burst doesn't work and you want to do sustained damage. And it's, you know, that's my normal Fresh Air build. People who know how to use it well. Air Training, I usually use in my Fresh Air build Air Master's Alacrity, so that the Lightning Strike and the Blinding Flash are on a shorter cooldown. But for the burst, might as well put it on the 10% extra damage while attuned to air. And of course, Bolt to the Heart to finish off opponents who are low off. Also, what you could do is you could switch the Signet of Restoration, which I like to use, for a Glyph of Elemental Harmony to start it off in fire and get 3 stacks of Might right away. Also, to do more damage, to take down the Heavy, which is harder than usual, instead of the Arcane Shield, you could use Arcane Blast for extra damage to take them down, but I like a more balanced build, so I stick with the Arcane Shield, etc. So with this balanced build, and if I don't even have this, if I have the Signal Restoration, I could take down the light and the medium person in a single burst before they realize what's happening. The heavy, not quite. Close, but not quite. So, I will go over exactly what the burst is. It would be Arcane Power, Phoenix, Lightning Flash like I described earlier, Ring of Fire, switch to Air. That'll do an extra bit of damage because of Lightning Strike here, Electrical Discharge. And then when you're in air, you'll use Lightning Strike. You don't have to use Lightning Flash, I don't think it does any damage. And you'll probably use Ride the Lightning, which is over here. So let's try it out on this medium character. Oops, nope. Yeah, so that did quite a bit of damage really, really fast. I didn't even need the lightning damage. Ride the Lightning. Whew, so it is pretty strong, and the strong thing about it is that, yeah, you can even do it while you're sleeping. But I'll have to show you that in a second. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So I don't see how anybody could possibly... The only thing they could possibly do is randomly dodge as much as they can to try to avoid a surprise attack like that, but there is no indication, really, that that kind of thing's going to happen. So they only could dodge randomly. There's no way they could reactionarily dodge if they're a medium or light armor character. Heavy armor character, they could probably get away from it. So if you want to be able to take down the heavy armor guy, you have to kind of go all out. So you take this out of that. You lose all your actual fresh air survivability build, which is not fun. So I don't like doing this, but sometimes it is necessary. Let's try it out. So there you go. And I didn't even need the Ride the Lightning there. So it is possible to take down the heavy with a burst like this, but you lose basically the build you like playing with. So I don't recommend that unless you are comfortable with playing without any kind of survivability. I know I'm not. Let's see though, what would happen if I target a medium or a light, but instead of I'll use a Valkyrie's, which gives me a good amount of survivability. Probably I will not be able to do, I probably will be able to get the light, but not the medium. But let's try the medium first just to make sure. Oh, no, you can totally get the medium. Even with the Valkyrie instead of a... I mean, that's probably all luck-based. You only have a 38% critical chance when you're in the lightning and you're not on your arcane power. So probably doesn't work all the time, but it's still possible. So you could have a really good fresh air build with your Valkyrie Amulet and still have the burst that you want. Pretty nice. Oh yeah, when Lightning Rod comes out, the new type of Lightning Rod, you could add Updraft into the rotation, which is an instant cast also. You could Updraft and then Ride the Lightning, or Ride the Lightning then Updraft, doesn't really matter, because the Updraft will knock them down and will deal an extra Lightning Strike of damage with the Bolt to the Heart. So I don't know, that's another 2,000 damage approximately. Pretty good. And there you go. That is it. That's pretty much everything I could talk about, except for the fact that, yes, the burst is easy enough to do on the... Well, not easy enough. It's pretty hard. You have to be able to teleport almost immediately after you let go of your Phoenix. But it's doable on target golems, but it might not be as doable. In fact, it's almost probably nearly impossible to pull off properly in an actual match. So there's that. People could practice it and maybe be able to do it consistently, so I'd be impressed if people could do that, but I know I for sure at this moment cannot. But I could try. I might go into a match right now and see what I can do.
You've taken an orb.
Okay, so... Oh, there's the guy.
You seized
so that's nice. That wasn't quite pulled off properly, but that'll have to do.